Hi there. So finally, I'm going to get around to reviewing the Aoocci, that is how you pronounce it because I asked them, C6 series, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto display unit for your motorcycle. This unit also has front and rear dash cams, so it records all of your rides from the front and the rear aspect, and it also has tyre pressure monitoring. So if you'd be interested in one of these, there are other video reviews out there on YouTube, so you can also check those out, but there will be a discount code in the video description, and if you use my discount code you will get a 22% discount on this unit, and I believe I also get a slight commission if you use my discount code. I'm not sure how that works and I'm not really that bothered, but just for the sake of transparency, that's what I've been told. So they sent me this unit for the purposes of evaluation. This is the C6 Pro, and obviously they also want to put the product out there. So let's take a look and see what comes in this rather nice fetching box. Right, so first of all we need to remove the sleeve. With the sleeve removed, it reveals this wonderful, very premium looking white box. Let's remove the lid. There we go, put that to one side. Currently, if you buy this unit, they will supply it with a 64GB memory card. That's not normally included. You need this to record the dashcam footage, obviously. So at the moment, if you order the unit, you will get it supplied with a memory card, which is a bonus. So here is the unit. And we have several wires coming out the back. The wires are labelled controller, that's for the remote control, front camera, rear camera, and power. So those are all of the connections that the unit requires. And then underneath the unit itself we have a lot of accessories. So let's have a look to see what we've got in here. So this will be the power supply. So this supplies constant power, the correct voltage to the unit. This is what you would attach to the battery. Now with this unit you attach the negative to the negative terminal, and you have to attach the red to positive to a switched live on the bike. So that would be a live that is live only when the ignition is on, and is not live when the ignition is off. So something like the live wire going to the rear light, which is probably what I'll try and find, because the unit itself has no physical switch. You just wire it into the ignition circuit basically. So yeah, that's the power supply. Then we have these yellow cables, which I believe connect the front and rear cameras to the unit itself. So these will be your camera connection leads. This is the remote control unit. This is a wired remote control. I was told by Aoocci they used to have a wireless remote control for the handlebars, but it wasn't very reliable. It didn't work reliably, so they've gone back to a wired remote control. So you do get a remote control for it. I'm not quite sure how it works. You can obviously mount this to the handlebars. I'm not sure that I'll be using this because I've got enough crap mounted on the bars already. I'm not sure there's going to be room, and I don't really see the need for the remote, but it's there. So here we have a USB lead which connects to the unit as well. I'm not sure where that goes. So then we have two cameras, front and rear. You can take your pick. They're not labelled, I don't think. So yeah, just fit them somewhere. These will be the tyre pressure sensors. So they're just like valve caps that will send a signal to the unit to keep your tyre pressures checked. So here we have some mounting hardware. I think this is mounting hardware for the remote control by the look of it. This is mounting hardware for the two cameras. You have, again, various options by the look of it. And this big bag is the main mount for the unit itself. And basically it's a ball mount system. So we have 3 different ball mounts here. We have a handlebar ball mount, obviously. We also have one for the mirror stem, and we have one for the front brake reservoir lid, so you can attach it to the front brake reservoir as well. So we have 3 different mounts. They feel good and heavy. They feel pretty strong. I'm not sure which mount we're going to use here. I've already got a ball mount on Norman, so I might actually try and just use the ball mount that's on there, and that would be handlebar mounted then. So yeah, those are the mounting options. And finally, we have a little sun shield for bright days to keep the sun off the screen and make it a bit easier to read. So yeah, we can see how that works, because we'll definitely need that here in Spain, I would have thought, so I'll probably fit that straight away. So that's what you get in the package. It's looking very good. The packaging is really nice. They have recently changed the packaging, but this is very premium feeling, very solid. Nice packaging, a ton of accessories, lots of mounting options. Right, so now we've seen everything that comes in the box. I have asked Aoocci if it would be possible to power the unit via the USB-C port, which is here under this cover. I'm going to have to remove this cover anyway, because the memory card slot is under here, so I'm going to have to remove this to put the memory card in. And I did ask whether I could use the USB port here to power the unit, just to test it off the bike before I start taking Norman apart and cutting wires and things. They said you can power it via the USB port, so I shall connect a power bank to that, and we'll just fire up the unit, make sure that it's working before we get too involved. So yeah, for that job they do actually supply a screwdriver, so the screwdriver was also in the box. So we're going to whip this cover off, put the SD card in, and then we'll try and fire up the unit via USB. Obviously don't do that on your bike. If you have a USB output on your bike, don't connect it via USB, because A, it might not provide the voltage and the current that's required. They said it probably wouldn't be stable, but the main reason why you wouldn't do that is because obviously these ports would then be open to the elements. So, you know, the first sign of rain you'd get water in there. So it's not designed to be powered by that USB port, but I can use it for the purposes of testing the unit. So that's what we're going to do now. Right, so I've been in touch with my man in China from Aoocci, and apparently this USB cable that is supplied can be used to power the unit, at least for testing. We're not sure whether it can be used to power the unit on the bike. So this is something I'm going to have to test. Otherwise you're going to have to attach the power supply to the battery. But yeah, you can certainly use this USB connector to power the unit for testing purposes. So that's what we're going to do now. I've fitted the SD card in the slot here. I've just removed this cover. I've removed the cover with the supplied screwdriver. The screwdriver was in the bag with the camera mounts. So that's the cover for the back, and yeah, there's some very tiny screws. Make sure you don't lose those. So I've removed this cover. There is a USB-C port here which can also be used to power the unit for testing, but as we've got a normal USB-A connector here connected to the unit directly, we're going to use that for testing. So the SD card is now in the unit. We have USB power connected here at the back of the unit. So that's this lead here. So now we're going to connect this to a power bank and see what happens. And there we go. It's even got my logo on it, Economical Rides. Let's swing it round so it's up the right way. There we go. So this is the home screen. Now you can get your own logo put on here when you go to the checkout on their website. You can upload a graphic file. So you can actually have your own logo there. They've put my channel logo on there, which was very nice of them. But yeah, you could have, like, you know, your manufacturer of your bike's logo. You could have a loved one or a dog come up when you fire it up. So I've already connected this to my phone via CarPlay. The process is very straightforward. Basically, you connect it as a Bluetooth device first, and then once your phone has connected to this as a Bluetooth device, it recognizes that the device that it's connected to can also do CarPlay or Android Auto, and it asks, in my case with an iPhone, do you want to use the attached device for CarPlay? And then you say yes, and then after that it automatically connects. So as soon as it's connected to your phone, you end up with the normal CarPlay setup, which I have in my car as well. So you've got a few of the apps here, Google Maps, that kind of thing, Spotify. So for instance, Spotify. So there you go. That was using the unit to start music on my phone, so that works fine. When you're here in this screen, in the CarPlay screen, if you go to here, it takes you back to the desktop, and you have a symbol here which takes you back to the unit home screen. We're getting a back tyre is low message because tyre sensors aren't connected. So you hit this home button here on the app screen of your CarPlay, and that takes you back to here, which is the unit's home screen. And to go back to CarPlay, you go here, interconnect, to go back to the unit itself, there. So when we're on this screen, we can go to the driving recorder. So I've actually connected the cameras to the unit as well. So if we go to the live screen, so we go to the driving recorder, we're on the live screen. I've connected the cameras. So that would be your rear facing camera. That would be your front facing camera. And so it's basically recording all of the time. As soon as the unit's on, it just starts recording. So that's all working fine. So we have the cameras. It's obviously picking up the tyre pressure sensors as well, because it's saying there's low tyre pressure. So yeah, that would make sense. There we go, once again. So yeah, to come out of here, we just go back to the home. So this is the home screen for the unit itself. If you want to go back to your CarPlay stuff, go on to interconnect, and there you are, back into CarPlay. So that's basically fire and forget. As soon as the unit comes on, it starts recording. So it's just going to record automatically. You don't have to do anything. It will connect via Android Auto or CarPlay automatically. So you don't have to do anything there. So yeah, the thing is now we have to find out whether we need to actually wire this into the battery, or whether the USB power supply over my USB port on the bike is going to be stable enough to power the unit. That's something even the manufacturer can't say at the moment, so they're allowing me to test that for them. In theory, you should be able to power it via a USB port, and obviously that would be the preferred option because it means you don't have to wire it into the bike. So that's the next job. We're going to fit it to the bike. I'll fit it initially to be powered over the USB outlet on the bike. If that doesn't work well, we'll have to fit it using their own supplied power supply. But hopefully it'll work over USB. So let's go and do that. Well, since the video with the fitting and the testing of the unit on the bike is going to be pretty long in itself, I've decided to end this video here. And so part 2 will be the fitting and the testing of the unit on the bike itself. And that will be coming out now on Thursday. So I've just split this one up into 2 parts for you to make the videos not quite so long. So if you're interested in this unit, pop by my channel on Thursday and you should get the video with me fitting the unit and testing the unit on the road and giving you my thoughts on the unit overall. Hope to see you then. Bye bye.